Kuma, who has invaded Mary Joaz, is being attacked by the celestial dragon soldiers to restrict him from causing any damage to the Holy Land. What is his real mission still remains unknown. Kuma gets really angry because of the continuous attacks by the soldiers and launches Ursus' shock attack to kick all of them away. This shock wave causes severe damage to the land as well. Suddenly someone arrives there and asks that what is he trying to do. The man also exclaims that the other day it was the Revolutionary Army, and now Kuma has arrived here. The man is none other than Akainu, who is standing face to face in front of Kuma. He exclaims that this is becoming quite the historic destruction event. The soldiers recognize the Fleet Admiral Akainu. At that moment, another person speaks up. He is Saint Charlos, who call the soldiers as useless people. He turns to Akainu and exclaims that this is the first time something like this has happened. He is worried that what would become of the food supply here in Mary Joaz. Akainu remains silent at his words. Charlos then tells him to leave this matter aside for some time. He then says that he is injured and the tyrant Kuma is nothing but a slave. He commands Akainu to hurry up and execute him. Akainu turns to Kuma and tells him that if they are unable to control him, then he cannot let a dangerous individual like him to be roaming free around this land. Akainu further says that Kuma's mind should have been non-existent anymore, and someone like him who is almost the same as being dead. Where exactly is he heading to? What is his real plan? But Kuma doesn't look much interested in this conversation and doesn't even reply to his questions. When Akainu realizes that Kuma is not going to reveal anything, he decides to attack Kuma. Akainu uses Hellhound attack and destroys a part of Kuma's head, the part where his brain is located. Akainu realizes that even with a damaged head, blood is still flowing inside him. Kuma, instead of counter-attacking him, quickly starts to run away from that place. Akainu yells out, telling Kuma to stop. But Kuma ignores his words. Akainu starts to chase Kuma. As Kuma tries to escape from that place, Akainu launches another attack at Kuma, and this time, his attack slices off one of Kuma's foot. Now, with the loss of brain and foot, Kuma is gravely injured and is in need of repairs. Now where is he heading towards still remains a mystery. Maybe he has realized that he cannot fight Akainu in such a condition, or maybe he has something else to do or somewhere else to reach. Suddenly a huge blast happens and Kuma has vanished. Akainu is confused at what just happened. Akainu gets a flashback where Bonnie was under captivation of Blackbeard and he met her. There, he tried to convince Bonnie that Kuma's mind won't ever come back. He also told Bonnie that Kuma himself volunteered to become a combat weapon. But even at that time, Bonnie started shouting at him and calling him liar. Bonnie was not ready to believe that Kuma would volunteer to that. She was sure that Kuma cannot leave her behind. This flashback creates another possibility that what if Kuma is heading towards Egghead Island, where his memories are stored, and Bonnie is also there. There are a lot of possibilities of the real reason that Kuna has arrived at Mary Joaz, and where is he heading towards? The Celestial Dragon Soldiers and Charlos realize that Kuma has vanished, and they are surprised that Kuma has tricked the fleet, Admiral Akainu. Akainu is surrounded by the same question as we are with, that where a puppet who has lost his will and mind is headed off to. We then cut to the New World, Egghead Island, where a battle is going on between the deployed Mark III pacifistas and the sea beasts. The pacifistas are using lasers to destroy the sea beasts. Their lasers are killing several sea beasts. However, Marines have finally invaded the Fabrio phase and are ready to occupy the island. Meanwhile, Admiral Kizaru has also broken through the Leba phase above the clouds. Meanwhile, a battle is going on between Luffy and Admiral Kizaru. Luffy is fighting in his Gear 4th Snake Man form, while Kizaru is also counterattacking with his laser beam attacks. Both are exchanging attacks. Kizaru exclaims that his power shows that he certainly is the man who defeated Kaido. During the battle, Kizaru appreciates Luffy's strength, but then he questions him the reason behind a pirate like him protecting Vegapunk. Luffy, instead of answering in return, asks him that why do they want to kill Vegapunk. Both of them are blocking each other's attacks. Suddenly, Kizaru uses full speed to fly out of the dome. Luffy is shocked to see that the man flew so far away. Kizaru exclaims that he doesn't want to kill Vegapunk as he has known him for years. Kizaru then warns him to not get in his way, and then he flashes with the speed of light towards Luffy. He uses full acceleration to power himself up. He once again enters the dome, and then, with full power, he lands a powerful kick on Luffy. Luffy is knocked away because of the power of his kick. At that moment, Kizaru gets a flashback of Vegapunk, who told him that Vegaforce 1 is humanity's giant robot of dreams. The next moment, it is shown that Luffy has struck with Vegaforce 1, and the giant robot has broken into two pieces. Vegaforce 1, which is holding Thousand Sunny, drops it down because of the sudden collision. Along with Thousand Sunny, the three of them, Lilith, Franky, and Bonnie, are too fallen down. Luckily, they all fall down on the clouds. As they land down, they all start to run away from the blast that has happened because of the destruction of Vegaforce 1. Lilith exclaims that their dream robot has been destroyed and calls this act as unforgivable. Franky questions them that is the Thousand Sunny all right? Because of falling down on the clouds, Thousand Sunny has not suffered serious damage. Luffy, however, even after colliding with the Vegaforce 1, still is blown away. The important thing to note here is that their only ray of hope for escaping this island, the dream robot, Vegaforce 1, has been destroyed. Franky loses his temper on Kizaru. Bonnie finally comes face to face with Kizaru. Kizaru exclaims that she has grown so fast, he then calls her a kid who has grown up fast. He further adds that he is well aware of her grudges against Vegapunk. But she doesn't need to worry because he has been given orders to assassinate Dr. Vegapunk that she hates the most. However, Bonnie doesn't stop and tries to attack Kizaru. But Kizaru has no other option left than to attack her. He blows her away with his kick, and she is sent flying towards the dome. She collides with the dome. The lasers on the dome get activated, attacking her. Kizaru exclaims that he doesn't want to attack those whom he knows for a long period of time. Franky tries to attack Kizaru, but the latter suddenly vanishes from that place. Franky is left shocked that where did he go? He quickly realizes that Vegapunk Stella is in danger. Franky quickly tries to contact the command room through the transponder snail and connects with Usopp. We then cut to command room, where Usopp questions Franky that what happened there. Are they all right? It is because he just heard a big explosion over there. Franky is unable to communicate that Kizaru has destroyed Vegaforce 1. In the command room, Vegapunk is elated because they have finally cracked the code to open the dome. Atlas taunts York that they did it without her help. York calls them geniuses. Usopp tries connecting with Franky. He tells Franky that the barrier of the Frontier Dome can now be disabled. He further asks Franky that have they brought Vegaforce 1 and Thousand Sunny on the back of the island? Before Franky could inform them, Kizaru arrives there. Kizaru tells Vegapunk that his escape plan has been folded. He reveals it to Vegapunk that his giant robot of dreams has been blown to bits. Everyone is shocked to see Kizaru standing right in front of Vegapunk. Usopp cries out loud that everything is over now. Kizaru exclaims that they need to understand that this is a tough mission for him too. Vegapunk is frightened to see him there, while Kizaru exclaims that he doesn't intend to drag this on too long. The next moment, Luffy arrives there in his Gear 5 giant form and grabs Kizaru tightly with his giant fist. Everyone there is shocked to see Luffy's form. Kizaru, on the other hand, doesn't look much surprised by his form. He exclaims that Luffy has finally appeared in the form as rumored. Luffy is angry at Kizaru for sending him flying towards the dome. He says that he has crossed the barrier 2 times and he thought he was gonna die. It is also shown that the drums of liberation sound starts to play because Luffy has taken his Gear 5 form. This sound echoes throughout the Egghead Island and suddenly, the ancient robot placed in the junkyard starts to activate. The giant robot's eyes glow mysteriously. The chapter ends here, but a lot of questions arise from this chapter. Now that Vegaforce 1 is destroyed, what other way the Straw Hats and Vegapunk would use to escape the Egghead Island? Why Kuma invaded Mary Joaz? What was his plan? What Kizaru meant by saying that he doesn't want to kill Vegapunk? Was it just for tricking Luffy, or there is something else? And in the end, what made the ancient robot to activate after 200 years? Was it the drums of liberation, Or something else? A lot of twists wait ahead. It would be interesting to see how things would unfold from now on.